This is Michelangelo's David. He's a masterpiece of the Renaissance era. Carved from a single block of Carrara marble in the 1500s, he stands at an imposing 17 feet and weighs over 6 tons. He is depicted in a moment of intense concentration and determination, ready to take on the giant Goliath. The Renaissance period produced a lot of famous sculptures. But today, when people refer to old master sculptures, most of us picture him, the most iconic sculpture of the Renaissance period. Michelangelo was given the commission in 1501 by the city of Florence, which was at the time one of the most powerful and influential cities in Europe. But he was not the first artist to work on this commission. Decades earlier, the sculpture was originally intended to be part of a series of 12 Old Testament sculptures that would adorn the Florence Cathedral. Michelangelo was offered a colossal block of marble from the town of Carrara in northern Tuscany, which had been previously worked on by 2 other artists, Agostino di Duccio in 1464 and Antonio Rossellino in 1475. Both artists had abandoned their work after noticing imperfections in the marble's grain. But despite these flaws, Michelangelo took up the monumental challenge of carving the figure. In most depictions of David throughout history, artists always portrayed him as a young boy in the moment after he has slain Goliath. Michelangelo, however, decided to depict David as a young man in the minutes before his battle, with a sling in his hand and a look of determination on his face. David is not just a beautiful sculpture, it is a technical masterpiece. Michelangelo is known for his skill in creating dynamic and lifelike figures, with works like the Bacchus and Pieta. The sculpture captures the moment just before David defeats Goliath, with David standing in a pose that suggests movement and tension, or otherwise known as contrapposto, which is when a human figure places their weight on one leg, freeing the other leg and the upper body to suggest organic movement. This technique was made famous by the ancient Greeks, namely this guy, Kritos boy, the first known instance of contrapposto, and revived in Renaissance art by the likes of Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. He paid close attention to every detail of the sculpture, from the muscles in David's body to the curls of his hair, creating a work that is both anatomically accurate and emotionally powerful. But David is not just a sculpture of a biblical hero. He is a representation of the Renaissance ideal of humanism. During the Renaissance, there was a renewed interest in the classical world, and artists and intellectuals sought to create works that reflected the values of ancient Greece and Rome. Humanism placed the individual at the center of the universe and celebrated the beauty and power of the human body. When Michelangelo completed the statue in 1504, it was decided that it would be placed in front of the Palazzo della Signoria, the seat of Florence's government. The commission of David was significant because it reflected Florence's desire to showcase its power and influence through art. David's placement in front of the Palazzo was a deliberate statement of Florence's strength and determination, and the sculpture quickly became a symbol of the city's power and pride. David has become an icon of the Renaissance. His powerful form and idealized features have come to symbolize the Renaissance celebration of the human body and the power of the individual. Michelangelo created a work of art that has endured for centuries and has become one of the most recognizable sculptures in the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe.